Hello, it's Mary Weber and Travel Guru Girl and Travel Girls on the Go Women's Travel Club. I am going to do this presentation by video so that you can watch it at your leisure. We did have a meeting the other night and we had some technical difficulties, so I wasn't able to show a lot of my slides. So here is the information. I am going to share my presentation and then. Even if you don't see something that you're interested in, please feel free to either call or email me and ask me about a destination you're interested in. Just because I didn't talk about it doesn't mean it's not available. I'm focusing on what might be available for fall and winter. But if you're thinking of next year or bucket list items, locations that I don't talk about, they are always available and there's always a way to do it and also a way to fit into your budget, that sort of thing. So just let me know. And I'm just going to go here to share my presentation. And here we go. So again, welcome to Travel Guru Girl and Girls on the Go. Glenda is our host when the women's only group goes. Trips we've done in the past is Greece, Danube River, Western Caribbean, Nashville, and the next trip that we're going on is in February, and I'm going to talk to you about that right away. This is just some pictures of some of the girls that have gone on trips together and have become forever friends. And things to know. So you have to make sure that your passport is good for travel 6 months past the time you're traveling. So if it expires in 6 months and you're planning to travel, you better get your passport done right away. Visas may be required in certain countries, so you have to make sure that you know. The UK, Ireland, and Australia do require online ETA, it's called, that you apply for. Europe will have an ETIA program, but it's postponed until late 2026. Medical insurance is a must. Cancellation insurance. It's very important that you do insure the non-refundable part of your trip. Can you afford to lose this money? I'm not in, and that's what I always say. I know it sounds like it's a lot of money. I don't sell insurance, so I have nothing to gain from this. But all I can say is that I've had a couple of people that did not get cancellation insurance, and they were out the money that they spent on their trips. I'm not licensed, but I can offer you options for your insurance. Please register with the Canadian government to let them know where you are in an emergency. Check and see what shots you may need and pay attention to the cultural do's and don'ts. If you're thinking about going to the United States for periods longer than 30 days, you will have to fill out an I-94 form. Now, there might be other things in the future, but that's what it is at the moment. And pickpockets are everywhere, so always be aware, and I recommend a cut-proof purse. The new European entry system. So in October, they're going to do this EES system. And all it is, instead of going to a guy that's going to stamp your passport, so the first entry into one of the EU countries is that you'll be asked to go to a kiosk, put your fingerprints down, get your picture taken, and then away you go. So no easy, it's easy. You won't have to worry about anything. Expectations for hotels in Europe and on rail travel. So if you're thinking about or wondering about hotels, hotels in Europe can be small. The rooms can be small, especially in a boutique. So a lot different than North American hotels. I'm just going to stop this for just a second to make sure that we are recording. Yeah, it looks like we are. Okay. And away we go back here. So I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't talking and it not being recorded. All right, let's go back to this slide, current slide. Okay, here we go. So unless you're in a chain hotel, rooms may be smaller than what you're used to. Face cloths may not be supplied. In a higher end hotel, they usually are, but just in case you need a special face cloth, make sure you take it with you. Group tours will generally always be, the hotels will be located in a central location so that you can walk easily to some of the sites. Most of your must-see sites are included in a group tour, and there's safety in being in a group. So even as a solo woman traveler, you will always have someone to eat dinner with, and always converse with someone on the bus, that sort of thing. So you won't feel lonely. Some hotels will also have very small elevators, and some will only have stairs. So that's just something to be aware of. Rail travel. Rail travel can seem very glamorous, but if you're traveling by rail and you've planned a trip, oh, good, I'm going to go on all these different railroads in Europe, you have to be prepared to be able to handle your own luggage because there's no one there to help you get it on and off the train. You do have to step up quite high to get into the train and then lift your bag up. So just beware of that particular thing that you should know. And be prepared to get off on and off very quickly because the trains are on a set schedule. And also, many times in Italy and France, all of a sudden they decide to have a 1 day rail strike, and so that could affect your trip. So just beware that that could always happen. The Travel Girls on the Go trip in February will be February 15th to the 25th in 2026. The price keeps going up. From the time that we started booking, probably gone up $200 per person. This week's promotion with a Princess is $35.85 per person in an obstructed balcony with a non-refundable deposit. It's $200 onboard credit. There's also a full balcony available and inside cabins. The ports that you'll go to is they Princess Keys, which is the Princess Island, St. Thomas, St. Martin, Tortola, St. Kitts, and Antigua. So great ports to go to and see different things. This includes your alcohol package, your Wi-Fi, your premium desserts, and specialty coffees, as well as all of the crew gratuities. So you don't have to worry about that. The only thing you need to spend any extra money on is the excursions that you'd like to take. AMA Waterways. So AMA Waterways is a cruise company in Europe. It's not got anything to do with AMA travel. It's if you want to see the beautiful tulips in Holland, you have to see them in March and April because that's when they'll be blooming. The date that I have a group pricing on is March 24th to the 31st. They have excellent solo cabin pricing for a solo person, 57.62 in a window cabin or 83.24 in a French balcony. So remembering that you can get wine, beer, and with your lunch and dinner. There's wellness activities included excursion in every new port with a variety of choices. Bicycles are on board, so if you wanted to ride a bicycle on an excursion, you'll be able to do that. There's free Wi-Fi, many choices of meals, and you only have to unpack once. And there's only 162 passengers on board. Very safe, very quick on and off, lots of choices, and lots of fun because even for a solo traveler, you'll get to meet a lot of people. It's a very intimate situation. If this time period it doesn't work for you, I can find other dates for you because again, I mentioned April is another time period that you could go. It might be slightly more money during that time period. So these are trip possibilities and ideas to think about for this fall. So you could still go to Croatia, Slovenia, and the Adriatic coast with Colette, September 18th to the 1st. It's $58.99 or $71.99 for a single. This is all of the places that you would want to see in this area. In a coach tour, 2 nights in most locations and 3 nights in Dubrovnik, which is really great because some tours you might be in a different city every night. So this is really, really great because you'll be able to relax a little bit more and see a lot more in the destination. G Adventures is a small group company, September 27th to October 4th. This is for the active traveler. You stay in an agriturismo, which is a working farm, and they take you out daily to either do a walk in the area. There also be a cooking class. Your meals are included here. It's only a maximum of 16 people, so really, really great. The scenery is outstanding. I've had a couple of ladies do this tour and they absolutely loved it. And you also get a trip to Pompeii and to Amalfi as well. So great tour to look at. Spain. So in October, you could still go to the Costa del Sol. This is the area that everyone wants to go to in Spain. In October, it'll still be really, really nice. In this particular case, it's $2,300 per person double plus your air. So that's 21 days in this location, 2 meals per day, which is unusual for a long stay. Breakfast and supper included. And there's a Canadian rep on board that will give you ideas for excursions. G Adventures, best about Iceland. So if you're interested in Iceland, you can go any time of the year. I just picked a fall date. A small group for 12 to 16 people, 3,052 per person sharing. They will match you to another female plus air, or a single room is 4111. And this will take you around all of Iceland and take you to the key sites. So great trip, and you can go year round to this destination. A long stay in Italy. This one is a really good one because it's 3 nights in Venice, 7 nights in Tuscany, 7 nights on Ischia Island just off the coast of Italy, and 3 nights in Rome. Really, really great way to see a lot of Italy, but at a slower pace, allowing you more time to see that and be in that destination. $49.99 per person, double plus air. Exotica is another company that does semi-and independent tours. So 3 nights in Rome, Venice, and Florence each, October 16th to the 26th. Many, many other dates that you could go. I just picked one that at random for the fall season. There's wine tasting, there's guided walking tours, but a lot of free time also on your own. So that appeals to a lot of people. So $52.99 per person with air from Edmonton, and solo rates are pretty good as well. I just don't have it right on the screen here, but you can call and ask about that. Gourmet Tuscany. This means you're staying in one location in Tuscany and doing daily excursions from there to see other things, do wine and food things, baking class at your hotel. So a really great small group event as well. And then you could add on from here. So $31.89 per person plus your air. Very popular tour with Colette is the #1 selling tour for them. South Africa, Botswana, Victoria Falls. It's a small group tour of 19 people. It's $88.99 per person plus air, and roughly $10,000 for a solo on this trip. Everything that you wanted to ever see or do in South Africa is available on this tour. It goes to Victoria Falls, and there's 8 wildlife safaris, so you can't beat this. This is an exceptional tour, and as a group tour, really, really good value. And they have an excellent cancel for any reason insurance policy. The charms of the Mekong. So if you wanted to go to Vietnam and Cambodia on a river cruise, this one is an excellent choice. It's with AMA Waterways in October. October will still be fairly hot and humid. It's always hot and humid in Southeast Asia, but this is the best pricing for a river cruise at this time. So with this, it's a 7 night cruise, 2 nights in Ho Chi Minh and 2 nights in Siem Reap, which is where all the temples are, Angkor Wat. Balcony is $68.95 per person plus your airfare based on double. There's 124 people. All your excursions are included, beer and wine with lunch and dinner. So you can also do the 15-day that takes you also to Hanoi and Halong Bay. So if you're going that far, I would suggest that you do the 15-day. Coral Princess Panama Cruise from Vancouver to Fort Lauderdale. Once a year, when they're finished in the Alaska season, they will go through all the way from Vancouver to Fort Lauderdale through the Panama Canal. It's $55.91 per person plus air in a balcony. This is 23 days, so it's quite a nice getaway from that point of view, and also leaving from Vancouver, which is a real plus from our location. So you go through San Francisco, LA, San Diego, San Barbara, Puerto Vallarta, Huatuco, San Juan de Sur, Costa Rica, through the Panama Canal, Aruba, and then on to Fort Lauderdale. Can't beat it. So Vietnam and Cambodia, I know I talk about it quite a bit, but it's been one of my favorite locations to go to ever. This one is a land-based tour with exotic tours, November 13th to the 28th. It's small group from 10 to 20 maximum, 39.99 per person. Hello. Oh yeah, I'm good. How are you? Yes, Glenda's going to send an update. Yeah, they don't send them out till about 2 weeks before you leave. Yeah, so you'll get something as soon as I get it from them because it's kind of like an all-inclusive also, although it's from two different companies. They've merged, the air is from one and the hotel is from another. But when you do an all-inclusive, the paperwork or the e-documents don't come out from till about 2 to 3 weeks before you leave. So I'll send those as soon as possible. So there's going to be six ladies on the trip. So Glenda has all of your information, and she's going to be sending out information and asking people what they're interested in. Like she's doing some studies about what's available and what the costs are. So yeah, so you'll hear from her. Mhm. Sure. Sure. Yeah. I mean, the nice thing about it being in Canada and Victoria is not that large, a person is able to do that. And that's kind of the beauty of this whole thing. So yeah, so people can kind of do what they want. Yeah, and that's great. But I've seen Glenda sent over what she thought she was going to send out to you guys, but she was just waiting on to hear back about a couple of things. But I know you should get something soon. Okay? Yeah, you too. Bye bye. Okay, here we are again from the current slide. Okay, Vietnam and Cambodia. Um, yeah. Okay, here. Sorry, I'm just going to go back here. One of my favorite trips. Anyways, so here we go from the current slide. Um, 10 to 20 people, small group. This one is a land tour as opposed to the river cruise option that I gave you earlier. So 39.99 per person double or add another 12.35 to be solo on this, plus your airfare. So if you're interested in that, I can send a PDF on this particular trip. Nile has the Nile, Egypt and the Nile are very popular as well. People ask if it's safe. Yes, it is because they wouldn't go here if it wasn't safe. So they'll never take people into areas that are not safe. And I haven't personally had anybody return lately, but I have lots of colleagues in the travel industry and they're sending clients all the time. This is one of the best values out there is the Egypt with Nile cruise and the treasures of the Jordan. So that allows you to see Egypt and Jordan. Most of it is land and a little bit of a cruise portion on here. So the pricing is excellent. It's 64.39 per person, double plus air, or $8,000 single plus air. So 13 days from Cairo back to the Dead Sea. Again, if you are interested in that, let me know as soon as possible. Last I saw, there was only 2 seats left on this particular tour. And stop share. And we have a technical difficulty. Okay, we're going to go back and share this again. Technology is great when it works. So this is the next Nile trip. Now, you can do the Nile many different ways. So this is strictly river cruise option. And this one is only doing the Egypt area. It's not going to Jordan. It's a great sale on this one. It's with Uniworld, November the 22nd to December the 3rd. And it takes you to 12 UNESCO World Sites. 8 days of excursions, all hosted by English-speaking Egyptologists, complimentary excursions, house wine, local beer, tea, etc. So again, a great value with Uniworld. And I can see I'm going to have trouble with this particular um, presentation. So let's see. Taste of Egypt. And share again. There. Okay, so winter spring ideas. Portugal is a place where you could go year round. A great destination because the weather is pretty mild year round. And really, really wonderful time to go is they have actually a long stay in October to November 24th. They also have one March 5th to the 30th from Edmonton, and really, really great price with air from Edmonton in the October-November date. It's 36.49 per person, double plus air, with air. And then also the March date, March 5th to the 30th, is 41.99 per person, double from Edmonton. So great destination for couples and women's. You stay in an apartment, and so you're self-sufficient. You're cooking for yourself or going out for meals. You have 2 nights in Lisbon and 22 nights at the Villa Petra. And this is marketed only to Canadians. And then going back to Spain, you could go to the Costa del Sol in March 4th to the 26th, land only, 22 nights, 16.99 per person plus air. So this is a studio apartment. And then there is a Canadian rep on board to assist. So if you wanted to go to different excursions, you could. But on the Costa del Sol, I could imagine that during this time period, it's probably going to be 12 to 16 degrees. Not super hot. It could get up to 20 degrees, but just wanted to let you know that it's a great location to go to, but it's not super hot yet that time of year. Then there's the Spain long stay that's in Calella, which is 60 kilometers north of Barcelona. April the 25th to May the 15th, 32.49 per person, double with air from Edmonton. You can't beat this price because it's got the air. So you're in an apartment and you'll have Canadian hosts. It's only marketed to Canadians, so Canadians take over this whole apartment building, and lots of group activities and options for excursions from here. It's really close to Barcelona, so you can take the train yourself as well. You can hike and cycle all over the world, and E-bikes are available. We have several small group companies that offer this. So if you're interested in a walking trip, just let me know and we can talk it over and look at dates, that sort of thing. And remembering also that people are interested in things like the Camino in Spain, and that's available, various dates and also time periods. So you can go for 7 days, 10 days, or longer if you wish, a month if you want to do the complete one. So lots of companies offer that. So you just have to ask me about that. This is National Geographic Morocco, February 1st to the 15th of 2026. It's with G Adventures, small group company, maximum 12 people. Lots of meals included. This is a National Geographic one, so they actually take you to a lot more and give you a lot more historical information when you're going. So it's a really, really great trip for women. 48.18 for a single, or if you're sharing, and they will match 32.49. Lots of dates available for this. I just picked one. Spain and Portugal escape in March. The Globus offers these escapes, they're called. So they're less expensive because they're off season, but you could go to Barcelona, Madrid, and Seville and Lisbon for 2 nights each. Solo is 28.60 plus air. That's a great value for someone traveling by themselves. And actually, because it's a little bit cooler weather, you just have to know to expect that, and you're getting great value for your money. Things to know about Asia. It can be very hot and humid. You will require visas for various countries. You may require shots, and you have to make the most of the trip there. So if you've flown that long distance and you may never go back, just make sure that you take in as much as possible. Bali, long stay in the winter. Bali's very popular. You've heard about it for yoga and things like that. But it's a very beautiful little country to visit. 20 nights, 24.85 per person, or $4,300 for a single plus your air. 20 nights accommodation, and you get your buffet breakfast, and you get 5 excursions. So you can't beat that. A longer stay here. So let's say you wanted to go for longer in the winter. A one-bedroom apartment is $58.95 per person sharing, and lots of inclusions. You get your daily breakfast, and you get 5 different excursions as well, and you get a rep on site there. Thailand long stay. So this is with Exotic Tours in the winter of 2026. Any 24 nights that you pick from January 11th to March 31st are going to be $54.80 per person, double plus your air. So you get 2 nights in Bangkok and then 1 night on the return, 21 nights in Phuket, and you get all your breakfasts included and some guided trips as well. Long stays in Australia can go anywhere from 28 to 56 nights in a moderate self-catering one-bedroom apartment, or so you can pick 28 or 56 nights to go, and the price will vary on the location where you go or the length of stay that you have. So it could be anywhere from 32.77 to 58.27 per person during those time periods. This is Discover as Australia. This is with vacations, January 30th to February 14th, and they have other dates available with air included from Edmonton to go to Cairns, Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne. So a good variety of places to see, 13 nights, and including your flights from Edmonton and the domestic flights within Australia. So you get your tea, lunches, maybe a dinner or two in here. But it's a nice if you just want to see and have a shorter amount of time period away, this is an excellent way to see. 7809 double or 10,200 for a single with air from Edmonton. You can also rent a camper van, or you can rent a car, and so you can do different. There's different ways. They'll give you the itineraries, they'll supply the car, and then away you go. So lots of different ways of doing Australia, as well as doing cruises. So there's cruises that go from New Zealand to Sydney area, or from Sydney back to New Zealand, or all the way around Australia. So many, many different choices. So if you're interested in something like that, please let me know. Soloish, Vietnam, and Cambodia. Here I go again back to that. But this is 21 days. This is a land-only excursion, including Hanoi and Ha Long Bay in the North Vietnam area. And of course, your Siem Reap with your temples. And so Ha Long Bay, Hue, Huan, Ho Chi Minh, Phnom Penh, Siem Reap. Visas will be needed in these. But this is for solo travelers only. There's no mixture on those ones. Southeast Asia. So if you wanted to see all of the area that I talked about, including some of Thailand and um, Laos, February 2nd to March 2nd, 63.69 per person sharing plus air for 28 days. So really, really good. I had one of our ladies do this last year and she absolutely loved it. So if someone's interested in talking to her, I can put you in touch with each other. Exotica, South Africa, Cape Kruger and Victoria Falls, 65.99 per person double with air from Edmonton. So January 28th to February 9th of 2026, or a single 66.99 with air from Edmonton, January 21st to February 1. Many, many dates on this. So great semi-independent tour. You'll have a little bit of touring, but a fair amount of free time on your own as well. So there are cruises with solo cabins. River cruises is always a good choice. So you can do the Rhine, Portugal, Danube, France, Egypt, Mekong, and now Colombia as well. There is always an excursion included in each port. You sail into the center of most European cities. Some ships will have bicycles. They're relaxed anywhere from 120 to 190 people. No seasickness, no lineups. You'll always have a tour director and some wellness hosts. And sometimes there is a reduced single supplement. So you have to let me know if you're interested in a river cruise, and I can find the best deal for you, especially if you're a solo traveler. The most popular ones are the Rhine, which is the Rhine River, which goes from Amsterdam to Basel or Basel to Amsterdam, and that's usually 7 nights. 52.99 per person based on double. Another one is the modified Danube, which is halfway in Germany, Regensburg to Budapest, March 29th, end of March. And I give you those ones because they're the least expensive of the year. Cunard. So Cunard is like the Queen Mary. So they have solo cabins and really good pricing. So even if you can't get the solo cabin, they have very, very good pricing for solo travelers because they get a lot of them. On Celebrity, they also have some solo cabins. So Rome, Turkey, and Greece in May of next year also has some. They sell out very quickly. So if you're interested in that, you have to let me know right away. And then there's the Alpine Christmas markets. And this, instead of being a river cruise, which they are available on, I'm not focusing on that today, but I can find out for you. This is the land tour, November 28th to December 6th for 8 days, 41.44 per person or 55.23 single, plus all of your air. So guided tours of France, Germany, and Austria's Christmas markets. So really, really great opportunity to go during that time. So ending on if you're interested in Thailand, Peru, Antarctica, Japan, Australia, or Europe, please let me know times you're interested in going and what you're looking for, and I can certainly do that for you. And thank you. I want to remind you that life is short. Take the trip. You never know what's going to happen. And are you signed up for our newsletter? Well, you probably are if you're getting this. So thank you again for listening. And I will be sending this out to all of you. And thank you very much. And if you have any questions or are interested in anything or anything that I did not talk about, please either call me at 587-410-3765 or email me at mweber, Webber, at Trevello, TREVELLO.com. And have a great rest of your fall and wonderful fall weekend.